Welcome in to Buckets, Boards, and Banner. I'm John. This is Rob. Rob, how we doing, man? It's almost the end of the first round of the playoffs. How you feel so far?
It's good. It's extended. It's been an extended first round. I think record number of teams or series going to 6 games or more. A few game
Mm-hmm.
sevens lined up for the weekend, so it's exciting. Good. I'm sure the NBA is happy with the extra revenue they've gotten from this.
Yeah, so we had like a little variety of all kinds of types of
Oh,
games, but only one sweep. So that means that the basketball overall has been pretty good up
yeah,
until this point. How many was it? What, three or in the East? Three game sevens?
two game sevens. Yeah,
Yeah, and we're gonna talk about all of it, man. So you ready? Should we just
yeah.
jump in?
Let's do it.
All right, so of the first round matchups, we're actually going to just go in order because we still have all the series that we're going to talk about. So, first one we'll get into is the Pistons versus the Magic. This is one of those games or one of those series that is going to a game seven. That one is actually tomorrow as we're filming on Saturday. Um, Pistons, number one seed, struggling with the eight seed. Magic, looking like the team that maybe we thought they should be at the beginning of the season. Up until now, how would you characterize the way the series has gone?
Um, I think youth has shown for Detroit. I think also the one dimension for them, like as Cade goes, they go. But
Yeah,
I think him as a player, I'd have said, he came back. We don't know first team All NBA yet, but he came back from injury, and I think the appeal was successful. I
mhm,
don't know if I put him on first team over Jalen Brown. I know you don't take in the playoffs to account, but like I
yeah,
I don't think it's better than Jalen Brown. I think there's some guys there that's a tougher story to sell.
yeah,
Um, Super surprising, in the sense of just how dominant Detroit's been. The thing I'll say though is Orlando. You said it. This is the team a lot of people expected them to be. They
yeah,
are they are multidimensional. They've got some shooting. They've got a lot of height out there. I think this is what Houston imagined with some of their players. Um, but I'll say this: the worst collapse ever, I think, in game six from the Magic, blowing a 24-point lead. I think it was 45 minutes
oh,
of actual time that they
mhm,
didn't score a bucket, missed 23 shots in a row.
same.
Um, they'd be going into round two upsetting the one seed. I think that's got to go down as like the worst playoff collapse, if not just collapse ever. To do that, I was watching the game. I switched over and came back and saw that Detroit was up double digits. So just a monumental collapse from, again, an up and down uh, Magic team. But like, if you're Detroit, you don't want to go into game seven. You're at home. You're a rugged team. Jalen Duren's got to be better. Kid Cunningham's got to be better. But obviously just not what you expected with the dominance they had all season.
Yeah. Magic, they're Detroit's characterized as a big physical team that can really like get under you and just on defense just kind of hound you down. But Magic's pretty big also, so they
No.
actually match up very well. I'm looking at our predictions here. So for I think both of us, we had the Pistons
Four
winning.
one.
You had 4-1, I had 4-2. Here we are. All right, so this is the last chance to try to rectify our prediction here.
Yeah.
Well, we
Yeah.
can't fix it, but we have one game, a game seven. Who are you picking to win tomorrow?
You don't lose that lead and come back from it. I'm going with the Pistons still to win the series. I think when you're looking for a closer, I'm taking Cade over Bankero. Wagner, excuse me, is not playing probably. I think Detroit pulls it out. I think it's going to be a grimy and gutsy game. Seven. I think that they pull it out though in the end.
All right, I agree. We'll stick with the prediction that
Uh,
we picked to win, not necessarily in the games,
and
but
then out, yeah.
Pistons blowing. I mean, winning, but I don't know. Like this whole series has been weird, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I could see the Magic maybe pulling out some magic and winning, but I'm gonna call for the Pistons to win tomorrow. Yeah, that collapse was just. I don't know if you come back from that. Like
Yeah.
you just. I think that might sum up like how this series is going to end just in that game there. So,
Yeah.
all right, let's move on to the next game in the East. It's actually on right now. So,
Yeah.
Celtics versus the Sixers. Sixers actually getting healthier. Embiid's playing, looking really good. They're tied 3-3 in this series. They're actually playing right now. I think we just
Yeah.
was just halftime. I think Philly was up by 5. No Tatum. Tatum's injured. What a I mean, this series is nuts. The fact that we're in a game 7. What are your thoughts on this one?
I think I picked Boston in 6,
Yep.
if I remember, and a lot of it I know I had said is pending on Embiid. He's played. He's been great in the games he's played. Maxey has been really good. Tatum had been good, and then obviously like suffered another calf injury, sitting out for Game 7. I think Philly's up 10 right now in the second half. Edgecomb's played really well as a rookie in the playoffs. I'd say the rest of this game, I would say the Sixers take it. They Embiid coming back and being able to play with the issues he had, I think put it over the edge. Like it's just a really tough matchup for Boston. Like they don't have the bigs out there that can keep up with Embiid and move with him, or defend him in the right way. They're not a super deep team, and they've just been really spotty from 3. So I think it's tough. Yeah, they're up 9 right now, 9:25 left in the third. Philly is on Boston. I think Browns played well, but again, that Boston system, like they're going to shoot a lot of threes, and you're up against another team with some really good guards, and a big that can score. I think it's just tough when you're really playing 5 out against this team.
Okay. I also had Boston winning, but I had Boston winning in Game 7. So this game
Yeah,
tonight,
there you go. There you
you know,
go.
what?
Good pick.
I think I got to stay with it, man. I think
I
Boston
think
will
you're
pull it off. I think you know what it's just. I think Embiid said just the other day that he's tired of losing to them because
yeah.
they've just owned them. But they're in Boston. I feel like they just somehow are able to pull these types of wins off in the playoffs. So I'm gonna say that they do it, even though I think Jaylen Brown's gonna have to play out of his mind. Even though, well, also 76ers scare me, man. That's a really
Yeah.
good team.
They're a really, really good team. You have a former MVP. You have an emerging star, possible superstar later on, and Tyrese Maxey, a great. I'll just say this: Peyton Pritchard is guarding Joel Embiid on the block right now. So I don't know what that says from what they're doing, but
Yeah,
a mismatch,
Mazzulla,
obviously.
Mazzulla's in
But
his bag, man. Mazzulla's in his bag. He's just doing some of the craziness that he does. But
yeah,
I think if the 76ers do win, I mean, I would take the way they look. I would take them to maybe even beat potentially New York if they met up with them. It's going to be interesting after this. The matchup.
they look good. They look really good, man. Yeah, either of these series against the Knicks is going to be really good. I think the Knicks showed why they are so impressive, but they also showed a lot with like how their defense can flounder, how their offense looks when Jalen Brunson's on the game. So, I will talk about that with them, but it'll be a great series.
Yeah.
Either one of
Well,
these teams that comes out. So,
you know what, man? Let's go ahead and get into it. You brought up the Knicks.
yeah,
Knicks and Hawks. Knicks won 4-2. And if you watched the last game between the Knicks and Hawks, it was
that
like
was
it was record setting. The Knicks won, I think, by 51 points. They I think in the second quarter they had already built a 50-point lead, which is nuts, and especially in the playoffs when it's supposed to be so intense and you would think it'd be harder to score.
maybe the worst half of basketball ever. What the Hawks played.
Yeah, man. I when I think of the Hawks, I think of more defense.
Well,
I have no idea where the defense Their offense wasn't there, but the defense
Yeah.
they got out of control. It was how's the game over in the playoffs by the second quarter, man?
Yeah. I mean, they were down 25 in the first, right? Like it just
Yeah,
looked
but that's bad enough.
non-competitive.
But like 20, you could be like, we can come back. We got a lot of game left. When you're down 50 in the middle of the second,
Yeah.
there
I
that
think the issue with them is they continue. They're young, inexperienced of that nature, right? Like you're counting on Jalen Johnson, who did not have a great series, as in his first All Star season.
mhm.
He didn't play well. I think CJ McCollum played pretty well, and then those last couple games that sealed it for the Knicks, he just was not, as big of a factor. And again, that's what happens when you lose Trae Young. You know who'd have gone in there and put up points? Trae Young. Trae Young would have
Yeah,
had buckets, and especially against the Knicks. Now, the issue you deal
mhm.
with is like the defense probably wouldn't have been that much different, but
Yeah.
you got just a roster there. Like there's got some
They
good
got
pieces
guys
and
going.
Johnson and McCollum, and you like the way they can sit together. But then you've got Ricochet, who couldn't get minutes in a blowout in that last game 6, right? So you're really going to question like what you can put together with them. Like Okongwu
Hmm.
just doesn't give the offensive lift that you need. He's undersized on defense. Super athletic, but they don't have the rim protection that you'd want, and they're making bad decisions, bad reads out there on the perimeter, and the Knicks are going to put up a lot of threes off of Jalen Brunson drive. So, I think I don't remember. I think was my prediction 4-2.
For this series, you
Yeah,
had Knicks. Yeah, 4-2. Yeah, Knicks.
4-2 Knicks. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I thought it would have looked closer 4-2. Right, like I expected the first 3 games of the series were very contested, and the Hawks looked. I mean, they stole, right? They stole it on the road, like, and looked dominant against the Knicks in games 2 and 3. So to see it kind of flip that much, that's tough. But I think ultimately the Knicks are good. Like I think the Hawks are up and coming. They've got to get more of an identity and build that. Jalen Johnson is not your franchise guy and your number one. I think like he's a great 2-man.
Yeah.
So who do you get in there that can add that? CJ McCollum is not, right. He's probably your 3, your third best player. So it'd be interesting to see like what can they pull from the draft, or are they able to package something together to bring somebody back that can give them that oomph they need? But I mean, getting to the 6th seed in a season where everyone expected them, especially after the Trae Young trade, to not really do much. Like, take it as a win. Obviously, it hurts the way they went out.
Yeah. Ricochet, biggest bust ever?
Oh no. He
No,
was the rookie of the year. He's rookie of the year. I think
but he
you.
can't even sniff the court here.
I mean, but you look at that for coaching. I mean, they were down 50. He wasn't a part of it. like, like that. You had all stars out there playing down 50. Like that. That's on coaches. That's on them. Like the last person I'm blaming for that game was Ricochet. I think there's mixes that just don't fit in that system for him, right?
Yeah.
Like he is playing the same position as Jalen Johnson, who is their guy. Um,
Do you
you
think he
know,
needs to leave Atlanta? Like he needs to just
yeah, I think it's crazy. It's 2 years in. He's a rookie of the year 1 year, and you'd say that, right? Like, well, sorry, no. Yeah, he was rookie of the year, right? Um, but
2 years
you,
ago.
2 years ago, excuse me, yeah, 2 years ago, rookie of the year, so 3 years. But I mean, he's got the pieces, he's got the physical tools of it. Who do you get him around? If you're expecting him to be the guy and number one, like no, like he's not. That's not him, right? That's not what you're going to get from it. But could you package him? Could he be a great 4th option for you? I think he could. The problem is, yeah, he's behind the other guys on that team, like Dyson Daniels and Chan Johnson, who are like more elite at that, right? But I mean, I wish Dyson Daniels throw up some shots. Like he's
Yeah.
on the court because he plays defense. Like
Yeah.
that's it, right? Ricochet can figure out a way to be a great 3 and D. I think he gets himself on the court.
Okay. Um,
Anthony Bennett, I would say, still has to hold that title right now. Because I think Ricochet will be in the league for a few more seasons at least. Anthony Bennett lasted 2 seasons there and was just
was
horrible.
it?
So Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay. As far as the Knicks moving on past this series, against the Sixers or the Celtics, is do you favor them either over either one of those teams?
I like how they match up with the Sixers due to the fact that their defensive style is so interchangeable. Cat is going to foul out every game guarding Embiid, but Mitchell Robinson, bigs that they're going to just throw, bodies that are going to fly at Embiid, they do very well against these elite big men in that sense, right? And I think they've got some of the wing size from a Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges to mess with Maxey on that end, and then kind of match them punch per punch with Cat and Jalen Brunson on the offensive side. So I like them in a Sixers matchup. To me, think I'd choose the Celtics, but they just have not looked like the Celtics over the last few games of this first round series, and who knows
Yeah.
if they're going to get the chance, right? Like they're down 11 right now. Highly doubtful. I think that they are going to make it through, but I like the Knicks' chances against Philly if they can maintain some kind of offensive presence when Jalen Brunson's on the floor. Like Anunoby, Cat, somebody's got to kind of run that and get them points, and they just really seem to struggle with it.
I agree. I think the Knicks could probably beat the Celtics the way they are right now, the way they've been playing. Philly's kind of on the come up, and they're kind of hitting their stride at the right time. So I think Philly could probably beat the Knicks, but I think either one of those matchups is going to be great, man. It's going to be great
Yeah,
basketball, and it's probably going to go 6 to
yeah,
7 games.
yeah.
So
I think it's another long series.
that'll be exciting. Rob, our analytics department just got with us. Risa Shea was never Rookie of the Year.
Who won the Rookie of the Year?
No, and you should know
That was
this.
Stephen Castle's year, right? Sorry, number one pick, right? Okay, got it.
Apollo, yeah, Scotty Barnes.
Why did
So
I think he was in the one before? Sar was number 2, right? Okay.
yeah,
But yes, I thought he was a solid rookie campaign. Nothing amazing. I mean, probably averaged 13, 14. I don't know. Dyson Daniels is strictly out there for defense. The guy can't hit a shot, so yeah.
okay. We just had to just correct that though. So let's see. Last matchup in the East. Cavs and Raptors. This is the last game 7 in the East. Last game, Raptors won in a very dramatic fashion, kind of Kawhi Leonard-esque when he beat the 76ers there in the East. What was that, like 2019 or something? But Raptors tied it up. It's 3-3. I think originally we had
Raptors in 7.
You had Raptors in 7. I had Cavs in 7, and Cavs are gonna be playing at home tomorrow. Are you sticking with the Raptors, or are you jumping over the Cavs?
Raptors in 7. This is like those Hawk Heat series. Like nobody really cares. They're the NBA TV series. Nobody cares until the game 7, and then you watch. The games have been good. They've had some really good games.
Yeah.
But both of these teams, like they are just so Jekyll and Hyde. I'm gonna go Raptors. I think they've got some great momentum. I know they're playing in Cleveland, but you got Evan Mobley out there just shooting a lot of threes. Not getting into space. Colin Murray-Boyle's just like him being so young, like he bodies these guys down there. I think the thing that hurts the Raptors obviously is outside shooting, right? Like RJ Barrett, these guys are not great shooters. And so that's tricky, especially if Ingram's going to be out again, as he was in game 6. But I don't know. I don't. Mitchell's looks good. Harden is not. I just don't trust the Cavs in these situations. I think this is a team that is primed for a blow up after the season. So I'm going to stick with the Raptors in 7.
Yeah, I think part of it is like whoever wins out of this Pistons, Magic, Cavs, Raptors, because I don't think any of those teams are going to beat whoever wins between the Knicks, Celtics, and Sixers. So I'm just kind of it out because I think I truly believe that the person that's or the team that's going to be representing the East in the finals is going to be one of those three teams.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah, it is one of those series where you're just like kind of like, well, all right, well, you're just kind of waiting for it to get through. But Game 7s are always exciting. It's definitely something. Yeah, I'll be looking forward to see tomorrow, especially since there's only 2 games. All right. Let's go ahead and go over the West. All right. So this series wasn't really thrilling in the sense that it won a bunch of games, but Thunder Suns, it was entertaining, and I guess in a sense, which any series that has Dylan Brooks, I guess it's entertaining. But the Thunder sweep the Suns 4-0. I mean, really, I think everyone assumed the Thunder would sweep the Suns, or it wouldn't be close.
Yeah.
Suns never really made any of the games real interesting. Thunder always had control. I guess the big news is that Jalen Williams is still hurt. And we're not really sure exactly when he'll be back. But
another calf, right? Calf again?
I believe I thought it was a hamstring.
A hamstring.
Yeah. So they're moving on. So I mean, as far as this series alone, any out of it?
OKC did what was expected for him. I didn't think that the Phoenix would put up much of a fight or against them. I just don't think they matched up well. I think the Jalen Williams injury is something big to watch, right? Like as they go into these, I wouldn't say this, as they go into a conference finals matchup. I don't know what that looks like, against a hurt Lakers team as well. But I mean, again, I don't. If you were going to give a game to Phoenix, that's fine. I just don't think it looked like it well with how up and down the Suns had been all season. So, and the Thunder looked exactly how they looked. I don't think there's anything you to gain from it besides, hey, they swept that team without one of their second or third best player. However you look at it.
I guess kind of reflecting on it, the Suns. I would say the Suns overachieved. After trading Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Bring on a bunch of young guys. I mean, you still got Booker, and they made those trades to get Green and Brooks, which they look good. They're just a few more pieces away in order to, just really, really contend. But the fact that they made the 8th seed or, made the playoffs, everyone kind of just thought they would be, left for dead after trading Kevin Durant. And, they were a pretty tough team in the regular season.
Is this it for Booker? You think he sticks around? Is there a point where I know he loves playing there, loves being there? I just don't know, like, what's their ceiling, right? Like, they're not going to have a high draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
You maybe you get him, Jalen Green and him in a whole season. I just don't unless they make some type of trade for some talent. I don't know that they get farther. I think they've overachieved heavily this year with what they were, but
I will say they're like their ownership. Is it Ishba? Yeah. He's very motivated, man. So I think he's willing to just kind of throw stuff at the wall, see what sticks, and he's willing to just try stuff. Whether it's going for big names, even though they got rid of a big name, but when you have ownership that's motivated, they might be able to create something. Or
can I throw one at you?
What?
Ja Morant.
Ja Morant with Brooks and
there's a lot of teams that need PGs. They suffered heavily from Devin Booker having to be their primary point guard. I think a reset, Jalen Green out, Ja Morant in. You've got fast pace, athletic guard who can run the point with them. I think they're still a big man away. They need something, some type of stretch for some interior presence for them, and maybe you find a way. They don't got picks, but maybe you find a way with some personnel to bring over Zach Edey with him. Like he's still on a rookie contract, but John Morant, it'd be fun to watch at the very least, but it gives him a former all-star backcourt running mate. In that space. I think Ja, he's not going to play for the Memphis Grizzlies next year. You just know that. I think, it's tough for Jalen Green to see him shipped off again, but, maybe that matchup kind of reignites the fan base a little bit under them. They've got nothing else to try, and then you put him back with Dylan Brooks. You got some defense there, but, they're still a big man away probably, but I kind of like the pairing a little bit.
Why not, man? Why not? They they don't have a ton to lose. I mean, John Morant definitely needs to change his scene. So
yeah,
that would be a better situation for him. I'm just wondering, is that a better situation for the Suns? I guess we got to see,
I just think you got two guys, your two best players in Jalen Green and Devin Booker play the same position. Put Devin Booker as a PG. He's a shooting guard, and so is Jalen Green. You got no point guard presence. The only team recently that's been able to do that is Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Like the Celtics have been able to do it with those two guys. Jalen Green, Jalen Green is not that,
right? Like they're pretty good at that. Your turn, my turn.
Yeah. With Jalen Green, there's a lot of my turns, and a lot of those are really bad shots.
Well, we'll see, man. Maybe they'll pull something off like that. But I think that is interesting. Well, all right. Next team in the West, your Spurs, our Spurs, versus the Trailblazers. They won 4-1. Not a sweep, but a gentleman's sweep. A lot of I don't know. It's kind of a little bit of a roller coaster somewhat. There was some drama, especially with Wembanyama missing the game with a concussion and really like 2 games because he missed most of what was that, game 2, missed all of game 3. But the Spurs, even without him, pulling off wins and winning 4-1. What's your takeaway from this series?
Really good how they rallied, right? I think 1-1 in Portland for game 3, no Wemby, and they're down double digits in the first half, right?
Mm-hmm.
Felt very weary. I know myself as a Spurs fan, a lot of media, a lot of those watching thought, damn, like this is that youth, right?
Yeah.
They come back, win by double digits. I think biggest point differential between in the playoffs. Then you look at game 4, again down double digits, come from behind, win double digits, and then you go steal it in game 5 in your house by double digits. And I'll say this, in the second halves of each those games in Portland and game 5 in totality, they looked dominant throughout. Right, it didn't look like they were scared. You can call it what you want. Portland was top of the league in shooting threes, bottom of the league in percentage. They don't shoot the ball well. Portland's got a team though, right? And they were healthy in there. You can call it Dame's out. I don't count him on the team. He was a late addition to the squad last year, coming back from Milwaukee. But they've got an all-star player, a ton of wings. Drew Holiday had an amazing series against them. I thought Portland if I'm picking, I'd rather have, I think in the beginning I wanted Portland, but I mean, Phoenix, it just didn't have the depth for it. They're going to be great next year, but I think the Spurs, at least.
And to get to that spot.
Yeah. I think the Spurs showed some great grit and great toughness. Now, you're going to go into a series against the Timberwolves. You don't want to be down double digits going into the second half, right? So how do you get that mentality away? How do you start and play a full 48 minutes, which is what you have to do in the playoffs? And the teams that win understand how to do that. So your OKCs, your Bostons who have won recently, they know that you have to play a full 48 minutes or we're not going to win a game. So I liked what I saw. Wemby looked phenomenal. I'd say this. I thought he looked – excuse me, I won't say phenomenal. He looked really good. There was still just some points of you want to see him go be dominant and you're so used to him just being dominant without trying on defense and taking these shots. I'd love to see how he transitions to attack other players. Like, what type of
Yeah.
matchups or mismatches can you hunt? How can he go and say, like, I'm going to get your big man in foul trouble guarding me?
Mhm.
I think like that's the next step. What they do, obviously, they now there's 5 games into their playoff experience for the team for a lot of them. Exciting to see though, a lot of accolades. They obviously took home Defensive Player of the Year, Sixth Man of the Year for Keldon. Excited though. I think again that's what you wanted to see from the Spurs. They got punched in the mouth in game 2, came right back and won the rest of the games. I think you go into a second round series now against the Timberwolves. You got to feel good going into it, and go from there. I think again this is a team that won 22 games last year.
Yeah.
To be the 2 seed, win 4-1, have a really good chance of winning in round 2. You get to the conference finals. I mean, their win projection was like 43 for the year, so I think they're in a great spot.
Yeah, as far as the Spurs, I think the way they won, and it's collective as a group. We talk about,
Yeah.
and we want to see him be dominant. Game 5, he was dominant, and the guy he only had how many points? Like 16, 17 points.
Yeah.
But you could tell he was controlling the game, with his presence. What was it? 6 blocks. Just dictating what the Portland Trailblazers could do, and you could tell he was breaking them. Like they didn't want nothing to do with going in the paint. They were losing their confidence from shooting, which they're not a great shooting team anyway. But you could tell that they were kind of broken from there. But besides Wemby, because everyone wants to point to Wemby, Dylan Harper won a game. Fox won a game.
Yeah.
Took over at some point. And Wemby took over in one game, and Champagnie had a, he what was it? What was that, game 4 or was it game 5 where he just came out just hot?
Yeah.
Just
and he hadn't had a good game, I'd say, like to his level of shooting, right? I think they are the only team probably at the top of either conference. OKC is going to go the way SGA goes, right? Denver went the way Jokic went. The Knicks are going to go the way Brunson is. The Spurs, yeah, if Wemby is phenomenal, the Spurs will be unbeatable. But if he is just okay, or in a lot of games this season doesn't play, the Spurs can go win because they've got a lot of pieces and they play a system that allows for all of them to do it. That's what's exciting about them to watch, right? Like, do you want Wemby on the floor? 100%. That defense changes, but they have shown the ability to go in there and play great as a team together. So it's exciting to watch, man. It's fun. The city of San Antonio obviously has probably not stopped honking since they won, and I think the Spurs are going to give them a lot more reason to honk this season.
Okay. I will say, flipping back to the Trailblazers, that was a pretty good team, man. They, for being in the plan, and they're very physical. Denny being an all-star, and he was a guy that a lot of people did not like by the end of the series, just because how gritty he is, the way he attacks the paint, gets to the line. He when you start having fans hate you, like you're doing something. All right. Tiago Splitter, the owner of the Trailblazers, pay this guy. I know giving him less than the league average.
He's not putting money out there, man. Tiago, go on and coach somewhere else, man. He's not going to pay you.
Do you think he should stay though, Tiago?
I like the
with
what happened with Chauncey Billups. They need an internal hire, and I think Tiago did a great job in taking over. I thought he did a pretty good job in the playoffs. There's some things you can't prepare for with Wemby. And again, right, like the team lost those things, but that's experience for him as a coach now, right? So I thought he did well. I would say, pay the man. But if not, like, he's wherever he lands, he's going to do a really good job. I don't know if they're going to find somebody to take that coaching job for under league minimum. So,
That's just among other things, like not paying. What was it? No shirts, and then not. I guess there
No
was
shirts. Two-way players couldn't travel.
early checkout at hotels. Like you can't.
No more. Yeah, no more late checkout. And
Mhm.
I mean, I'll say this: that's probably the first time an owner has been extremely happy that their team got eliminated early and didn't extend, because he did not want to have to book flights and hotels again for the team. So
All right. But overall, I think the Trailblazers had a really good season.
yeah,
Everything that happened with them, and the Spurs will move on, and we'll actually get to the Spurs again here in a little bit. Next series was the Nuggets versus the Timberwolves, which, being a Spurs fan, this is one that you were very locked in on.
yep.
You a lot. I guess I'd say about 90% of the country, where everyone outside of Minnesota was expecting the Nuggets to win.
Yeah.
Um, Timberwolves without Dante DiVincenzo, without Anthony Edwards, I guess controlled the series. They won 4-2. I think both of us had the Nuggets winning in 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, without those two, 1-6. What the heck happened?
Um, Minnesota steps up to play Denver. I think that rivalry and the amount of times that Denver sent them home in the last few years to beat them plays into it. I definitely think the most surprising first round series, um, that you could pick. I thought, especially with the injuries, I thought, man, Denver is going to roll over this team. It's going to be ugly.
Yeah.
Jokic gets a clear path to then an inexperienced Spurs team in round 2, who they just beat, to end the season with. And I think it looks like an all-time blunder on the Spurs' part of not winning that last home game. And I think Minnesota took Denver winning that game and saying, hey, like, we want the Timberwolves, so that's why we're taking this. I've never seen a player talk that much as Jamie Daniels did and back it up in the way he did. All-time
Better
great
back up.
defensive performance. Yeah, all-time great defensive performance from Rudy Gobert on Jokic. I think Jokic played good, right? The rest of his supporting class just horrible. Aaron Gordon, obviously injuries kept him out of a lot of games. Jamal Murray just disappeared in the bright lights, and Christian Braun set to make $25 million next year. Was just
Ooh,
horrible. Cam Johnson, I'd say, came on in the last couple
he got
games, but
better than he did during the season. Yeah.
yeah, but he, still just wasn't enough, right? Like the
Mhm.
pieces in the season that looked so good around Jokic, all of a sudden, like even Jokic, he looked tired. He looked just uninterested in defense. So a ton of just things going on with them. I'm not going to say like their window's closing. I guess we can do this prospectus, right? Like head coach fired right after the season. Jokic talked heavily about all of them would be fired if they were playing in Serbia. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, like if you were playing in Serbia, not the NBA, I think, yeah, you would be fired. But I don't think their window is closed. But I do think like they need a real third option and not these 3-and-D guys that are gonna hit sometimes. Those are glue guys that you put in around your top 3 or 4 players, right? You
Mhm.
swap them in to play well. You could say this, right? Like MPJ being traded away would even made a difference in the series. The issue was they didn't play defense. He doesn't play defense.
Hey,
So I think the
they asked
Timberwolves would have attacked him the same
MPJ.
way.
MPJ
Yeah.
said that if he was with them still, they would have won.
He's the same defender that Minnesota would have attacked. Now I'll say this: he would have been another offensive weapon. He probably could score some of those buckets that they needed. Um, would he have helped? He probably would have played better than Christian Braun, because I don't think you can play worse than he did. But overall, man, that's just I think he looked tired. You got a team who is rallying around losing 2 of their starters, and then you got Ayo Dosunmu, who goes out too, who's coming off the bench and starting. You've got they're sneakily deep, right? You've got Randall, Gobert still.
Soda, yeah.
Bones Highland
Really,
comes in.
when you really
Like
look at him, and
yeah,
that guy Shannon from Texas
yeah.
Tech,
They have a bunch of
man,
super athletic 3-and-D guys. Now, the shooting has not been great all season for them. They've been spotty, but when they're playing with that kind of confidence you have going up in that series, man, like who knows? You don't want to get in a dogfight with them. Yeah, with that being said, Spurs in 5 against the Timberwolves in round 2.
Yeah, we're not even there yet. All right. Oh man, did I already say what we both picked Nuggets in 7.
Yeah, I had Nuggets in 7, man. So I've been underestimating the Timberwolves. If they got 2, but yeah.
I mean the Timberwolves, they're a scary team. They're deep. They're very physical. They're very mentally tough. Even without, obviously without Ant and DiVincenzo, all those guys, like you could tell they have a strong belief in them or a strong hate for Denver. I guess we'll find out next round, like what it was, but very scary team. So I think for the next round, we'll get to in a little bit. I think they're gonna compete real hard. The Nuggets, I don't know, this offseason, there's talk about Jokic potentially maybe leaving. And then there's like places he could go. Overhaul, I don't know. Is there
how it ended? It's my second most disappointing team in the playoffs.
Second most behind.
We'll talk the next team.
The next, okay, all right. Well, Nuggets are going fishing. I honestly wanted to see Jokic versus Wemby. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe next year.
Yeah.
Got some soul searching to do. So we'll go ahead and move on to the last matchup here. Lakers, the Rockets. We both had the Rockets winning 4-1 in this series, and boy, oh boy, were we wrong. Lakers won 4-2. So on both sides, we knew going into this the Lakers weren't going to have Luka Doncic, and then Reeves would be out for an extended amount of time. He eventually came back. Yeah. The Rockets, as for the Rockets, we thought Kevin Durant would be, I assumed he would be okay the whole time, but he missed several games. Or was it? Yeah.
He played games 1 and 2.
Yeah. So, they basically had to roll without him for the majority of this series. But even then, Rockets with the success they've had. Actually, going into this season, they were supposed to be like 1 or 2 in the West.
Yeah, they were seen as projected right with Denver and OKC at the top.
And we see they're matched up with a hobbled Lakers team with their superstar out, and we're like, okay, they got a cakewalk to the second round, and then they lost 42. How exactly? Like, how do you explain this?
I mean, yeah, I had 4-1. I thought healthy Rockets, 41-year-old Braun leading a cast of characters for the Lakers without an identity there, outside of Luka and Austin Reeves. I just didn't see how this was possible. I'll say this. I know he was out some games. KD looked worse. If you want to talk about Jokic and his play, KD deserves way more of that criticism. He did not look good. He's not looked good a lot this season. I'll say this. He had a good season, but there's a lot of times he has just not looked like he's gelled. You can say what you want.
You think he wants to be?
I think he thought he wanted to be there. I think he thought he would have pieces around him, and I think they played differently than he anticipated, right? Obviously, Fred VanVleet. I'll say this. Yes, they need a point guard. They don't have one. Reed Shepherd is a 6'3" shooting guard who has played really well in spurts, and then at other times, like, looks just scared and nervous out there. And Ben Thompson is scared to shoot the ball. But I'll say this: they've had all season to prepare on not having a point guard.
Don't forget about Shane.
Yeah, the season just can't be. Fred VanVleet got hurt before the season started, and this is where we're at in the playoffs. Like, hey man, Ime, you got to get a system together, figure out who you want to use.
There
There was
was a
so
trade
much
that
talk about,
I had
yeah,
to say that.
so much talk about their height. They didn't rebound well against teams. Just a complete implosion on the Rockets side. I think they obviously want to run it back with the full team, but like, are those pieces around them, Tari Eason, Jabari Smith, are they going to work out there? Does Sengun work? I think he is getting already the treatment that Jokic gets from offensive players, where they are hunting Sengun out there. They're making him get into that, and he does not have the offensive output. And I think he is not did not shoot the ball well from three this series. I think he shot a little bit under where he shot for the season. Like, he's not a great 3-point shooter. But they just never gelled. Like KD seemed incapable or not wanting to break through double teams. He wants to be set up. And I think that's who he's been, right? Like, the teams that he has been successful on have had a ball-heavy, ball-dominant guard who can get him to his spots. He's much more comfortable coming off of, screen downs and pick and roll situations with other players. They were essentially, hey, like, Reed Shepherd can't bring the ball up. We're going to give it to you. You try to bring it. They try to point forward. I just think an all-time collapse by the Rockets. Like, you just can't lose to a team that's that hobbled as the Lakers were. So,
Man, it doesn't help that KD was trashing his team Twitter.
oh yeah.
Like, I feel like the chemistry was already, like, it's been for like maybe half the season, over the half the season, where chemistry was just off. Given KD's history, I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to ran out of there or force his way out to go somewhere else. But man, what a way to live, though. Just
look, I think he doesn't care what his legacy is.
Yeah, he doesn't care. But man, like,
but the people do, and I think that's the thing. He cares. I think you don't have burner accounts. You're not making these things if you don't care. I think he cares. I think he would like to display that he doesn't care. But I think it's just inevitable. He's human. He's going to care about it. And he's won his championships. He got his finals MVP, so it's not like you can take those away from him. I think he would, more than anything, though, love to win a championship where he feels like he's the leader. He's also getting up there in age, right? Like, is it realistic that he is your number one option now? Does he need to tie himself to, to be a big number two? He'd be an amazing second option, right? It's hard thinking of the team that could just go put him in and be that successful that quick, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have the pieces in like a Milwaukee to, you put him around Giannis, that's amazing, but they're both injury prone the last few years. So what does it look like? But just an all-time collapse, man. Just really, really bad series for the Rockets. I think if this wasn't Ime's second year in Houston, he'd be gone, right? I think he'd have the Adelman treatment that Denver just gave him. I think just a really sloppy job. They were out coached, and you don't say it a lot about an Ime Udoka coach team.
Between KD and Udoka, man, like, the morale around the team, he like trashed his teams after game.
Yeah.
More than you probably should as a head coach. Like, I think as a head coach, you can do it maybe like once or twice during the season. Yeah. But this guy just kept
I think there's a difference when you're calling your team out and having accountability for it. I think there's just something about the way he did it, something about KD's leadership that like lacks the accountability piece where you can call people out, but I know that you're in the foxhole with me. So I take that as you want me to get better. With KD, it's like, I'm playing with bums. Like, what do I do out here? Ime is like, I can't make them be good, so just all-time collapse. The Nuggets should not have lost that series, but man, from a Rockets standpoint, that was horrible. There's got to be some type of changes that they get there. And if you're a Rockets fan, you think Fred VanVleet coming back is going to help you over the hump with the Spurs and OKC and these other teams that are emerging? Like, I don't know where Fred VanVleet is good. He's a one-time All-Star. He's undersized.
Houston had a head start on San Antonio, and look where they're at now.
Yeah, like, I just think people that are saying that, like, oh, we were Fred VanVleet away from running the West. hey man, these teams are getting better, and if you think a 5'10", kind of
That's that Beck, that's that
slightly
Becky
out of
Hammond
shape,
there.
yeah,
What you said
like
about Johnson, like they
yeah,
can't, you can't win a championship with your best player.
yeah. I just don't think that's going to bring them there. You got guys on the wing who don't want to shoot the ball, are scared to shoot it, and on defense, like they just make bad decisions. So yeah, horrible series for them. Lakers now are still not going to have Luka back. You're going into a series against OKC. Uphill battle for them. I think if they squeeze one out in that series, good for them. But definitely did not go the way I thought this series was going to go. So,
all right, yeah. I mean, we'll talk more about the Lakers, but one more thing on KD, because man, one more thing about the Kevin Durant. It's a hypothetical. I want you to get in this time machine, okay?
Okay.
Last summer, KD said that some of his preferred teams, two of them were, was Houston. The other one was San Antonio. Well, how would it be if KD ended up coming to San Antonio? Where would the Spurs be?
If KD comes, do the Spurs still trade for De'Aaron Fox? It's probably question one. Well, I mean,
probably right.
I mean, so Fox was with us with the Spurs end of last season.
Mm-hmm.
So now you've got Fox. I mean, you probably don't have some mix of what was it? It was a trade, right, from Phoenix. So you probably don't have some mix of Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Harrison Barnes. I'd say, right?
Yeah.
Possibly Carter Bryant. Like there's a pick in there somewhere. So let's say you throw out a lineup: Fox, Castle, Durant, Wemby, and I don't know. You probably got. I'm trying to think of your
Kelly Olynyk
person is right. Like I mean, you got. I'd say you probably don't have Johnson and Vassell. Maybe you have Barnes. Your bench is definitely gone to get KD. Now I say this: KD is a plug and play, right? He is going to make every offense look good because he's a shooter. He doesn't need the ball in his hands essentially in terms of dribble usage, right? Like he is screened down. I think what hurts it is the action that Fox wants to get into is different. He wants to get downhill. I think the Spurs look different than they're at, right? And I think in a worse way. I think what helped them is they had so many guys, especially the bench unit, that could come in and just give energy and drive. And I'll say this: I think when KD went to the Warriors, and the last three teams he met with, I think were San Antonio, Boston, and then Golden State. I really wanted him on the Spurs. I thought, man, this is a great piece here. You had, Kawhi, you had LaMarcus. I thought this is a perfect fit at a stretch four for us, right? The issue there is like the more and more you see it, he doesn't fit like the dynamics of a Spurs player, right? I just think the overall there wouldn't have fit. I think the Spurs score. I think you get where you're getting because of Wemby, and you probably got a closer in games that you don't have elsewhere for the Spurs with KD. But I don't think they have the same oomph on defense that they do. Maybe you're still in, home court advantage in the playoffs, but I don't think they have the same fit. But I also don't think anyone is like passing up that trade if it's a reasonable price, right? If the Spurs are looking at getting rid of draft picks and 3 players, I don't think they want to do that. But if you get by with, a first and a swap and, a couple guys, I think it seems like a reasonable trade at the time.
I think camaraderie and just all that matters. Vibes, which are super right now.
Culture. It's all culture. Yeah.
Helps a lot right now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't know if the Spurs culture itself would be able to kind of fix that with Kevin.
Yeah.
It'd be a whole different team, and I'm not sure. They're doing great this year, so I don't know. I couldn't say it'd be for the better. It'd probably be for the worst. But hopefully, I just want him to find a home where he stays and just
he's an amazing player. he just I think at this point in his career too, right? Like with age and everything else, like if he settles in as the second option to like
Yeah.
a young emerging star, or he is just I'm not gonna say he's a third option, but if he is just another superstar that you get to put around the established players that you have, like that's fantastic. I think counting on him to be that number one option and everything, like just isn't where he's at this point in his career still.
Okay. All right. Oh, we've gone over all the first round matchups. We do know a couple matchups for the second round, and heck, by the end of this pod, we might know the other matchup.
4 minutes left. Philly up 3.
Oh man. Huh. Yeah, we might we might know.
Yeah.
As far as the second round matchups that we do know right now, Spurs and the Timberwolves. We've kind of talked a little bit about it already. You know what? We could actually do our projections. And also, you can tell me a little bit about, what you think, what you expect. But you want to start with your projection or
Yeah.
thoughts? Yeah.
All right. Ant TBA on return. I think I heard as early as game 3, as late as conference finals that he would need. I'm going without Ant, without DiVincenzo. Spurs are young, but I think they are hungry. I think they understand now, and we'll still have mistakes, but we'll miss some of the mistakes that you've got in the first round. I just don't think Minnesota has the firepower. I think Spurs 4-1. I think they'll drop, game 3 or game 4 to the Timberwolves on the road. But I think the Spurs are going to come out. I think you just don't see those issues in the first half that they've had before. But guarding Jokic the way he did, fantastic. I'd come in here and say, hey, Wemby's a different beast because it's a different mix, right? The physicality of Jokic is not going to be there. The mobility and athleticism of Wemby is. And I'm anxious to see like what the Spurs do to get Gobert in situations that don't allow him to be in the lane. I think he's going to have to, he's not going to stretch out.
Where they take him off the floor if
Yeah. So I think that's what you want to get to. I think with the other guys, you want to get downhill and attack, right? The Timberwolves are not a big team overall. Matchup to me to watch, if I guessed, I would say you see Randall start on Wemby, and that gives Gobert the chance to float.
Yeah.
I think the matchup to watch most likely is going to be McDaniels on De'Aaron Fox. Fox had a great game 5 to close it out in round 1. I'd like to see what he does, see what McDaniel does on him.
Ooh, Fox is a lot different than Murray. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's different. A lot more speed, right? Not the strength and physicality. So it's going to be different. I think then what does the bench of San Antonio do? I think that'll be interesting to see, going up against them. But for me, I just think there's too much firepower, too much talent for the Spurs coming in healthy, going against, Timberwolves that are down. So for me, 4-1, be surprised if it goes past that. So.
Okay. I got Spurs 4-2. I'm giving the Wolves, if it's the same Wolves team that I saw against Denver, I just think they have a lot of pride, a lot of dog. They can make it ugly, scrappy, and maybe since they actually are a more experienced team, they can actually drag it out, get 1 or 2 against the Spurs. But I think ultimately the Spurs will win. I don't know if it's been talked about enough, but I really like the coaching for the Spurs, man. Defensively, the way they draw stuff up, the way they get Wemby. A lot of times they try to get Wemby to switch to on defense to kind of move him out of the lane. The way he kind of figured out a way to just like, no, I'm staying here, and is able to switch off and just make sure that he's roaming. And then all the perimeter defenders that we have. So, but offensively, I do think that the Spurs have a lot more firepower, especially without Ant. And I agree. I don't think Minnesota can keep up. And I think, as far as Wemby and Gobert, I know Gobert is very familiar with Wemby, but I just think he's just too much. I think
Yeah.
looking forward to this matchup and wanting
Yeah.
to prove he's the best
Yeah.
Prince.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
think so. I think so.
I'm going, Spurs in 6. So first game is Monday, right? Monday.
Yeah, Monday night. Yeah, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I think. I'll
Oh,
just have a game in between. So yeah.
yeah, I think it's every other day: Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday.
Yeah.
So especially next weekend, that'll be good. But it makes your Monday a lot better. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. So last matchup that we know of right now, unless this game ends here in a little bit, is the Thunder and Lakers. You already called it out. You got what's your prediction?
4-0 Thunder. I
Or
unless Luca comes back at peak peak Luca health from the conference finals a few years ago in Dallas. I don't think there's any chance. And say what you want, the Lakers are their personnel is just not good, right? You're still counting on Marcus Smart as one of, if not your best perimeter shooter outside of Austin Reeves. LeBron's played amazing in the first round for being what he was.
Kennard,
But
man, Kennard
like, but there's just not enough there. And again, these guys are doing it in a lackadaisical Houston defense. Like you're talking, they're going to have wings rolling at them. They're going to be hit on every drive without fouls being called against OKC. I just don't see it. I think OKC is just on the steamroll now, and I don't think they'll be tested until they get to the conference finals against whoever that is.
Dang it, man. I agree. 4-0 Thunder. I think, I mean, they steamrolled them during the season. When they were healthy. And now healthy. Part of me wants to give LeBron, he can pull one out, but this Thunder team is just too good. They're too sharp. They're I mean, on defensively, they just strangle you, and they're just like a well-oiled machine, man. Hopefully, we talked about these two matchups, the Spurs and Timberwolves, Thunder Lakers. I know most people are hoping the Spurs Thunder meet up, but I don't know. Hopefully the Lakers can make it interesting. I'd rather it be interesting. Just matchup. It's better to watch, but it also it's better so that both teams kind of have. You don't have the Thunder just wait. I don't. And for this game right here with the Lakers, their last game they played was how long ago? Like it's gonna be a week. They don't play till Tuesday.
Yeah.
So
they're a
man,
young team. They're one of the only teams that you've got experience and youth, right? Like they come in from playoff series of this young team. Caruso, Hardenstein, like they've won, right? So,
did LeBron get that treatment where he gets the extra rest because he's LeBron? Because the been sitting for forever, the young guys, and the Lakers end up getting more rest because I think they're the last game to start now on Tuesday. So, or
and you got
Spurs and like the Spurs start Monday, Thunder Tuesday.
Yeah, they're letting LeBron sit, man. That's that King James treatment.
Rest up, I guess.
Yeah. All right. You've got I'll call it now. I mean, you got 20 seconds. Philly's up 5, going to the free throw line now. I think.
Oh, okay.
Barring some kind of miracle now, collapse from the Celtics. They've just, missed 10 threes in the last what seems like 2 minutes. Embiid, though, I'll say this, continues to get hurt this game. Now it's gone to the bench for, probably to finish the game out, but he's constantly been looking like he's in pain.
He's lumbering.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Philly and New York, I think New York is the better team, but I'll pull for Philly in that one, man. I think that's got 7-game series written all over it, but I want to see what Embiid does because he looks bad right now on the bench. They got him sprawled out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 105-98, 20 seconds left. Philly up. Embiid's on the bench. Looks like he's in a lot of pain. To vote well for the next series.
So, man, these injuries this playoffs have stunk, man. If Embiid doesn't play, well, I don't even know what day they would start, but I don't know. He's kind of managed. He knows how to manage his pain. The reason he's been out so long is because of appendicitis, right?
Yeah, he came back. I mean, quick. I'd say from that. I Embiid injuries. I think you just got
Not
to
really
play him in.
like an
I'm
injury,
gonna
like knees or anything, but
I'm Nixon 7. I'm gonna go Nixon 7.
okay.
I can't count on this guy. Every game I mean he looks like he's in a lot of pain to make it everything that he's in.
If this is
Uh
how it out, man, I think the Knicks got a really nice outlook as far as the
yeah,
playoffs. And a
yeah,
hot Philly team, and then the Pistons haven't or Magic or
yeah,
who else was it? The Raptors,
yeah.
Knicks might be sitting pretty,
Yeah.
but
I
yeah,
mean this is the year. If they don't get to the finals, I think I said it on a previous episode, they are blowing that team up. If they do not make it, there's no way that team stays together at that price tag.
yeah.
They gotta do something else. Yeah, Philly's going back to the line now with 15 seconds, still up 7. I think it's a good time to call it. So
Okay. So
yeah,
I guess I'll go ahead and make a prediction. You said Knicks and seven.
uh, Nixon 7.
Knicks and 7.
I'll call Nixon 7. I'm going for the Sixers though. I like it. I like Tyrese Maxey getting them to the conference finals. That'd be awesome.
Man, if Embiid's really a no-go like that, I'm gonna go Knicks. I'm gonna go Knicks and 6. And okay, I got it down against Philly. Okay. All right,
Yeah.
man. I guess we'll go ahead and call it here. All right. Well, everybody, thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe our videos. Keep watching. We'll see what roller coaster happens here in the second round. We'll update y'all as that happens. So appreciate y'all for watching. We'll see y'all next time.
See you in round 2.
See ya.